empowering you. The Remedy Show.
Hello, welcome back to The Remedy. Welcome to AETV, empowering you all the time. I tell you, when you're here, you're on the right channel. If you haven't hit the subscription button, what are you waiting for? You go and hit the subscription button, because as schools have opened, education at AETV is tremendous. So on The Remedy today, we're going to have an interesting topic. Uganda has finally opened schools, a very big closure of schools that has taken place for almost 1.5 years, which was almost 2 years. And some people have decided some schools might not open, according to research, because of financial stress, and also some students have gone to do other jobs. Well, could that be the only reason? In last November, according to Save the Children, it revealed that 1 in 5 children in many countries, including Uganda, are dropping out of school because of financial stress. Others are getting pregnant. Others are just out of it. The mood is no longer in school. We have seen very many stories that of students who have started their businesses and feel contented to go back to school now. Well, me personally, I have seen this happening. Like this last weekend, we were taking back our nephews to school, and we were seeing requirements were too much, like a lot of money. School uniform coming to 200 shillings. It was just overwhelming. So what about a teacher who has not been working for all this time? Is he going to be able to take their children back to school? Or have they been able to take their children back to school? Where are they getting the money from? If they have been working somewhere else, are they willing to let their jobs go? Are their jobs paying better than what has been paid before? What about the students who are home? Are they actually willing to go back to school? If some of them are pregnant, because of course, we're going to listen to someone who is more educated about this matter later. But there are very many students who have failed to go back to school because they're pregnant, not because they wanted this, but because they had to. Some of them have been raped. We have seen stories. Some of them have been harassed sexually. Some of them have actually gone into some activities to raise money because they have been financially stressed at home. They are helping their parents. Not an excuse for doing this, but anyway, this week we had a chance to talk to one of the best, Tumusiime Mary Agness, the branch manager, Reproductive Health Mbarara, and she had a lot of things to say about this matter. So please stay tuned in and listen.
You are most welcome to this program. My name is Tumusiime Mary Agness, a branch manager to Reproductive Health Uganda, Mbarara branch, which is situated at Lugazi within the trading center as you are heading to Lugazi Church of Uganda. Reproductive Health Uganda looks at is a non-government organization which offers different services to different categories of people, and not forgetting our youth, our children, our young ones. We offer different services. Amongst those, we have family planning, we have prevention and treatment of sexual reproductive health issues. Most especially, it looks at STIs or sexually transmitted infections. We also offer services concerning cancer screening of both male and females, and also we also offer infertility management and treatment, not forgetting the lab services, the HIV counseling and testing, the syphilis, malaria, hepatitis B. We also offer services of ultrasound scan and so many others. Those who always come, our clients, they know better, and also those who have not been able, I think you've heard what we offer. We all know and we are all aware that the teenage pregnancy has really increased because students or pupils have been at home, they've been doing nothing, their parents have been working in the different departments. They go in the morning, they leave children at home. So all those have really increased the risks of our children to be involved in unprotected sexual relations, and they have become pregnant. We want to look at the percentages. If we look on the statistics, we realize that around 64% of the students or of the pupils who have become pregnant may not end their primary education. And if we also look at other percentages, you realize that 60% of course will end up in the peasantry class, because remember, majority have become pregnant when majority actually they were still young, they were still in primary, they hadn't gone far, so their end results will be in the peasantry class. And remember, their parents are not able to take them to school. Some are already stigmatized, so they may refuse even though parents are ready to take them to school. And some have just delivered, they have children, they have young ones, they are looking after them, they don't have anybody to leave them with, to look after them, so they are staying at home to look after their children. So with all those factors, so 60%, that is what it says, that they will stay at home, they won't be able to complete other studies, they will stay at home. Also, it is also notified that that was a recording that was done between 2020 to 2021. The months were not able to be well noticed, but no, the date it was 12th December 2020. It was recorded that 650 pregnancies, all those were under teenagers. And remember, the teenage pregnancy was there even before the COVID, but now it has increased, because if we look on the statistics, we would see that 34% would get married before the age of 18, and all those were between 15 to 19 years, so those were teenagers still. before, but now the number has increased because of the pandemic. It was also notified that 12 million pregnancies would be recorded annually in Uganda, but now it has increased because of COVID pandemic. And all those percentages that were recorded, 300,000 teenagers, all teenage pregnancies would end up in unsafe abortion. Usually we consider the ages of 15 to 19, but still we understand that our body development is not the same. So even we consider a child of 13 years to be a teenage, to be a young one. But still remember, as I've said, that the teenage, depending on our body of development, even a girl of 10 years can easily become pregnant. That is also a young mother. We've had statistics showing that there was a girl who had conceived at 9 years. We've seen them. In the field there, you go there, you just say a girl of 9, 8 years has already breasts, has down hairs, armpits have grown. So that child, in case she's involved in sexual relations unprotectedly, she will become pregnant. All those are young mothers, and that is what has happened to our children. As I'm talking now, mothers, my fellow mothers there, those who are viewing me, you understand me better. I know mothers in the villages, they are crying. We have received them, who've offered antenatal to young mothers. So really, this is not a history, but these are facts. So there are some policies that have been put forward to safeguard our young mothers, those who have delivered. They've delivered, but we cannot ignore them. First of all, they have to continue with their education. Those who will manage, they have to be handled like any other child in a family. They have to be handled well in a community like any other person. They have really to be accepted in a community. So, but there are some policies that have been forward so that they can help them to know that they are still they are still considered to be like any other person. So amongst of the first policy, they should all receive the same information, the same education, the same message by whoever is giving a message, by whoever is health educating. Not to say this message is for those girls who are going to school and those who didn't become pregnant. No. If anybody is giving a message, please, you also consider those who have become pregnant. You know them, that they are still our daughters. They are still there for us, and they can be very, very important. They can become important in our families. We have seen those who have delivered. They've gone back to school. They've studied. They've become important people. They've got married to big men. So let's not ignore our daughters. Let's handle them with care. Let's advise them. Let's be with them in their problems. Sometimes they never liked it, but it's because of some reasons in one way or another. We have also another policy we have to minimize the stigma. Let me say, if a girl has come to school, I request the teachers, I request the staff, the fellow students, the fellow pupils, not to pinpoint at this girl. Check that one has a child. This one, you mother, you are a mother, check on her. What do you expect now to why have you done this? And you went and you started misbehaving and you become pregnant, you know. So let's not stigmatize these girls. Please, I beg you kindly. You handle them with care. You handle them very intelligently. You call them, you counsel them. Don't blast her in front of her pupil, in front of other pupils, in front of her siblings.
The Remedy Show.
Amongst of the first policy, they should all receive the same information, the same education, the same message by whoever is giving a message, by whoever is health educating. Not to say this message is for those girls who are going to school and those who didn't become pregnant. No. If anybody is giving a message, please, you also consider those who have become pregnant. You know them, that they are still our daughters. They are still there for us, and they can be very, very important. They can become important in our families. We have seen those who have delivered. They've gone back to school. They've studied. They've become important people. They've got married to big men. So let's not ignore our daughters. Let's handle them with care. Let's advise them. Let's be with them in their problems. Sometimes they never liked it, but it's because of some reasons in one way or another. We have also another policy. We have to minimize the stigma. Let me say, if a girl has come to school, I request the teachers, I request the staff, the fellow students, the fellow pupils, not to pinpoint at this girl. Check that one has a child. This one, you mother, you are a mother, check on her. What do you expect now to why have you done this? And you went and you started misbehaving and you become pregnant, you know. So let's not stigmatize these girls. Please, I beg you kindly. You handle them with care. You handle them very intelligently. You call them, you counsel them. Don't blast her in front of her pupil, in front of other pupils, in front of her siblings. You call her. Actually, I would call upon all teachers to be taken through a course of counseling. Let's learn how to counsel these young ones. Please, matrons, I urge you kindly you handle these children with care. Otherwise, you will talk just one word like this, the girl might hang herself in your dormitory, or she goes out on a nearby bush and she hangs herself. Because of just one word like this, you lose that pupil, and that girl, you never know, would be important to the community, to your school, to you yourself, because we are in this world to help one another. So let's not stigmatize them. Then, in case of any sexual allegations, please, you report it as early as possible. Sometimes these people, when they are at school, you find when there is sexual harassment, you never know in between them. There is like pupils, honor students, or between the teachers and the students, or head teachers, or whichever community this person is in. But in case it is realized that there is sexual allegations in between there, let the person responsible try to dig out so that this case is reported as fast as possible, so that we minimize further pregnancies. Because it doesn't mean that since children are going to school, pregnancies are going to stop in any way. They were there even before. They were at a high increase. So let's try to offer this service as fast as possible. Then another policy, before it's only girls, there are only girls who would be affected. The parents of the girl would be the ones really to suffer the consequences. But at this leave the first one, you are not going to continue with your education, and it's not going to be stopped there like you've been stopped from your school that you are going to join another school. There are going to be a policy of clear follow-up. The follow-up that you will be followed to even wherever you will be, whether you go to Kampala, whether you go to whether abroad, you are not going to be accepted to any school, not until this girl has delivered and she has gone back to school. That's when you also go back to school. So I kindly request young boys who have been ntugirango mweshungo ababire bino mweshungo ngwimwe kumukutweka tumwene kimo kuba affected at this time around. You are going to be with your girl, so and also your education is going to be affected. So I kindly request you to stop that habit. It's not good. At school, they have briefed you up. There should be policies on how to handle this girl. This girl is not going to be chased away from the school. Actually, the girl will stay at school. She will study. She will be cared for. She will be loved. She will be counseled. So she will be really be notified as a human being. So you will start school, you will study, but then sometimes we encourage school management or school nurses and all that to take action in case the girl should be encouraged to take up antenatal care services. It could be to a nearby clinic. You come at the clinic, you get your services, you go back to school. Then there are times maybe when it is impossible to handle. Sometimes, of course, I understand there are some sicknesses that can easily come in. So in case they arise and in case they are severe, depending on the suggestions that will be given by the health worker where the antenatal care will be taken from. So this girl might be advised to be taken at home, and she first get the proper treatment, then she goes back to school. And also another thing, in case this girl has approached her delivery time, also she can be taken home. They look after her. Then after delivery, also soon after delivery, she is not supposed to be at school. She would stay at home at least for 6 months, but then it will depend on what period she is in. For example, there is getting pregnant, and when you are approaching like your exams, so that one might not take you to all that. But in the actual sense, 6 months are the ones who are allowed, that you take 6 months at home, then you go back to school. We have to minimize the stigma. We have to equalize the services that are rendered at home with the siblings. Because if you segregate her, if this child is segregated, is denied of the services and all the privileges, she's going to hate herself. And this is a child that can easily commit suicide. So kindly parents, kind of the siblings, you love one another, you advise one another, you feel like as if there is nothing that had happened, you make sure you counsel her. You say you are going back to school. We feel when you giving birth so that we hold your baby, she is going also to think that what she did was not bad. But when you start choosing her, neglecting her, for you, what are you talking? For you, your money is not there. You decided to waste your time. So those words are not good. So my fellow parents, let us handle with care these children so that they know that they didn't do bad. Then after whatever they will go through, they will go back to school. You encourage them to go back to school. To me, I would advise all the teachers, because this has affected almost every school. Let these children be counseled. Be undertaken through a health education of counseling, and also of counseling. Let's learn how to counsel each other, whether boy, whether girl, whether what. Let's learn how to let's see the importance of counseling one another. So in case their fellow fall into a trap, let everyone be able to counsel her. Let everyone be able to know what's going on. Let's be able to know whatever is going on through her might also go to her, not to the sister if he is a boy, not to himself, because we've seen already that they are going to also be affected. Now if they continue harassing their fellow, it means it's going also to affect all of them. So my humble request, my humble remarks is let these children be taken under a course of learning all what is happening in their school. Otherwise, if it remains like that, the way it used to be, this girl is going to be traumatized and she will not be helped. Hence, the danger will arise not to one or two, but to the whole school. It's like Reproductive Health Uganda, as I've said, we really love young girls, we really love young children, the teenagers, the adolescents. We have even their services. We have their services around. Like we have a skilling program here. In case parents have not managed to take these children to school, it's not the end of their future. They can be brought to at a skilling center at Reproductive Health Uganda. They have catering, they have hairdressing, they have shoemaking, they have tailoring. They have so many things, and they pay only 50,000 then with requirements. You study for 3-4 months, you get a certificate. Later on when you work money, you will upgrade. You will upgrade. And please, when you get like infections, you please come to Reproductive Health Uganda. You get services. Much as we charge some money, but will not be so much high to prevent you from acquiring the services. Yet if you tend not to come, the infection might keep on increasing and it may turn into another bigger problem. Yet you would even treat it with a treatment of like 20,000, 30, but if you don't get treatment, it means you are going to get an infection that will force you to take like 200,000, which is not good. So with any minor whatever, you come and treat it. And I would encourage those young mothers and young boys, please come for HIV services, because you never know in that process of whatever you are doing. Maybe you acquired the HIV. You come and test. Maybe you acquired the hepatitis B. So you come, have a test. We do like HIV at 3,000. Then the other one is at 10,000. You come for the services. Then from there, you see what to do. My final remarks is that it goes to young mothers. Young mothers, don't regret and don't feel that your life ended from there. No. I have seen so many who have gone away. Who have gone through that state, but they are now important people. They have got married, they have wedded, they have got they went for further studies, they got jobs. They are now so good in their lives. I also give the remarks to my fellow parents. Don't ignore these people, these girls of ours. You take them back to school. You counsel them. Don't hesitate to advise them. Don't segregate them. Give them the equal messages, like those ones who have not yet become pregnant. Teachers and the school management also, you don't stigmatize these girls. Do not, please. You encourage them. Don't chase them away. Let them stay there. Don't harass them. Don't brush them in front of their pupils. I kindly request you to love one another when you are at school. Whoever got that problem, don't stigmatize her, because you never know. It can also happen to you. You never know, really. Even those ones, they never liked it, but it happened to them. There must be some regrets, but you love them. you don't brush them. Don't to talk about them ill words with the backbiting. You never know. So with those few remarks, till we meet again. Thank you so much.
The Remedy Show.
It's been an educative session. I have enjoyed, we really enjoyed having a talk with Madam Agness, and it is sad that some people are not seeing these things happening in the society today, but this is what is happening, and that is why we have the remedy. Thank you so much. So you who has been watching, and if you have been watching and your friend hasn't watched, please tell them to come and tune in, because this is the show of a lifetime, and we're here to stay. You're on TV, empowering you. Till next Saturday. Bye.
The Remedy Show.
You're watching a Youth TV, empowering you.